RadNet, a stronger and more connected community. It's a vision for a better future.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Rad Up All Night. It's been a long time, guys, since I've done a live show on this channel, especially with just me and you. It's been quite a bit. I was a little bit not under the weather, but I lost my voice towards the end of last week, so I've kind of been a little bit MIA with content. It's not 100% right now. I do have a show tomorrow over on the Radpack podcast channel, so I definitely need to make sure I feel good for that. I was contemplating if I was going to do this show tonight. This is a show that I've wanted to do last week, but because I was kind of feeling under the weather, I'm like, you know what? I need to try to get it out now. So I probably won't be on here long, but I definitely want to discuss some of this stuff with you, kind of have you guys included in all this as well. And we're going to be talking about the Vinegar Syndrome line, the VSU line from Vinegar Syndrome, which right now is probably like my overall favorite line in all of physical media. It's just something a little bit different. The packaging is insane. The movies that they're choosing is just a little bit different. And we could talk about all that, but I figured, you know what? I can showcase a lot of these things. I've done that on my channel before, but in case you guys missed it, maybe I can do it all kind of here in one lump sum. Talk about each one a little bit, give my reviews on each movie, and then I'm going to rank them. Now, the good thing about this line is it started, I think, like a couple of years ago. So there's really only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's only 9. There's only 9 right now. So it's a pretty easy thing to rank. But I'll definitely get your guys' input as we go. But before we even start the show, I'm going to come say what's up to you guys in the chat. Let me know that I sound okay. Everything looks okay. I'm still having a little bit of issues with the lighting in here. I don't know what it is. It's like my ring lights and the lights that's shining on me. It's all the settings are all different than they were in the other room. So it's like I'm trying to get it all to look clean and clear. And I don't know. I'm just not totally happy with it. Like sometimes I look too saturated. Sometimes I look too dark. I don't look bright enough. Sometimes I feel like I look blurry. So I don't really know what the problem is with the lighting. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Do I need a bigger ring light? I don't know. So let me know, guys, how everything looks and sounds from your end. Maybe I'm just being overly critical and kind of how I am when it comes to a lot of things. But I will get to the chat and we'll talk. Oh, what's up, Daniel? What a cool idea for stream. I've been itching to get more VSUs lately. Yeah. So luckily, I've been there since day one with the VSU titles. And I know now a lot of those old ones are really, really like out of print, expensive. You can probably get standard editions of these movies, but to get these boxes that they come in, a lot of them are going for big money now. So, but yeah, definitely cool line. And I'll go over kind of what the line's about and stuff like that. Antonis, welcome to the show, man. Jesse, what's going on? Vanderhoff, hey, man, thank you for popping in. What's in a name? Nastyville, baby. Look at that. Boom. The Nasty Boys. You know it. What up, Ken Carlson? Suffer Cover, my favorite VSU. It's the best film of the bunch, in my opinion. We will definitely talk about that one. Vanderhoff says, I don't own any of these titles. Never interested me. Cracking weird. Dude, I told you before, you need to listen to me. You got to get out of your comfort zone. You need to listen to what I tell you. Okay? Listen to me when it comes to these movies that, besides Halloween and Scream, besides that, you got to listen to me. Witch Hunter, what's up? Jane, what's going on? Now, again, I haven't seen you in the chat before, so if anybody in here is relatively new to the channel, say what's up. Say, hey, I'm a new subscriber. Been checking out your content. Let me know because I'm always excited to interact with some new people. We have really cool people that hang out in the chats here. We've already got about 50 people in here watching us via Twitch and YouTube, so thank you guys so much. Like I said, it's been a little while, and I was really hesitant about doing this tonight because I really want to save my voice for the Radpack show tomorrow. Eli, my man Eli, what's going on? Steve, what's going on, man? Joe Reese, happy birthday, dude. Happy birthday to you, and I appreciate you hanging out with me tonight. Knobs or Sags? You know what's funny? I always would have said Knobs, but I've met them in person, so I'm gonna have to switch and say Sags, I think. But yeah. Oh my god, from screen to shelf. What's up, man? What's up? This is my favorite lines. The packages. Yeah, I mean, it really is. And again, I don't like to say like I'm only collecting things for packages, but when you've been in the physical media game for so long, sometimes things like this where you see these titles that never get extreme treatment get a lot of love. And that I really can appreciate and the aesthetic of it and how it looks on the shelf. And it gives these prestige. And I think that it really intrigues me at this point of my collecting career to kind of really get in on this line. AV Pop Culture, what's up, dude? Go check him out over at AVA Pop Culture. I've been watching some of his content lately, so great dude over there. Definitely go check him out. He's been trying to get his hands on the Beastmaster. Thank you, Antonis, and I appreciate that, Daniel. Maybe it's just me. What up, Chips? How are you? Adrian James, what's going on? Notification that... Oh, sweet, man. I have one coming too. I didn't get a notification, but hopefully I will have it here pretty soon. You're right. Cobwebs rules. Daniel's the man. I've got something I have to do for him too, but again, this is one of the reasons the voice was a little bit off. So, Daniel, I will get you what I need. He's a great dude. Go check out the Cobwebs channel as well. Offset your main light to one side or the other for extra depth. So you're saying like this light in front of me that's shining, don't have it straight ahead, have it off to the side. Is that what you're telling me? Because if that's the case, I'll try to work on that. A-Dub, what's up, dude? Oh, baby. Wet movie, big home. Oh, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? From Lucas and the Goonies, dude, you should have told me. I've been dying to meet Kerry Green. There is some Goonies news. Guys, if you like the Goonies, there's a documentary coming out called Life After Goonies. It's done by Lisa Downs. She's actually responsible for movies such as Life After Navigator, Life After Neverending Story, Life After the Flash. She's doing a lot of these cool Life After documentaries where she kind of finds the cast. They talk about what life's been like since the movie, and they talk about the movie. It's very, very cool. I've had Lisa on the show talking about the Neverending Story. Well, the next one she's working on is the Goonies. The Kickstarter is up now. She likes to use Kickstarter. It's pretty much already paid for. It's already done. The Kickstarter is basically, I think, about ready to hit already. It's only been up for a couple days. But she likes to do that just because she can add all these extra perks and stuff. But she's working on that documentary now. There's, guys, if you know the Goonies, I mean, it's one of the best 80s kids movies of all time. And I highly recommend checking out the Kickstarter, checking out that documentary. It's, you can buy just the Blu-ray, you can buy bundles and all this stuff, but I would highly recommend supporting it. I can leave the link down in the description after the stream's over. I can't really say anything yet, but there'll be definitely a rad surprise in the documentary. So I would go and check that out for sure. What up, Mel? What's up? Kill that like button for the raddest doing too. I appreciate that, Mel. Go check out Mel at My Killer Podcast, the Radette over there. Go check her out. She is 1/3 of the Radpack. I will be with her tomorrow doing the Radpack show over on the Radpack pod on YouTube. So if you guys want to go check us out, we'll be live. We're going to be doing a full deep dive retrospective on the Gremlins. So the Gremlins just celebrated their 40th anniversary. Another one of those, besides like Goonies, another one of those movies from the 80s that was just iconic. And if you're my age, you know how iconic that movie was. And we're going to do a pretty cool retrospective. We're going to talk about the movie. We're going to talk about our memories. We're going to talk about how the movie did in theaters, different behind the scenes type of things. And then we're going to showcase our Gremlin collection. And that's just more than physical media. So I'm going to probably show you everything I have in my collection Gremlins related. And the same with Justin. So you definitely want to come in, especially if you like cool little things like that. And we'll talk about some of the cool stuff we have in our collection that have to do with the Gremlins. So big deep dive, rad retrospective on Gremlins tomorrow night live at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time over on the Radpack pod on YouTube. Wow, we have a lot of people chiming in on their favorite stuff here. We get over 50 people in here. I will start this up, okay? Because again, I don't want to just hang and do this all day. We'll get back to the chat, but I want to make sure I can get through this stuff. So I'll start here, and this is not my ranking yet. This is just kind of a showcase. The newest one is Navy SEALs. Now, this is a movie that honestly, I had never seen this, and this is one that a lot of people had seen. It came out in 1990. It's got a pretty big all-star cast with people like Charlie Sheen, Michael Biehn, Bill Paxton. So when this was announced, I was kind of like, okay, different. Now, what's interesting about this VSU line is it's basically 80s and 90s movies that are not horror. So if you know Vinegar Syndrome, they're really focused more on like the horror genre. But this VSU line is called Vinegar Syndrome Ultra. They're all 4Ks, and they're taking 80s and 90s kind of gems, kind of cult classics, underrated classics, things that they want more people to see, maybe hidden gems. But the kind of idea of this is 80s and 90s non-horror titles. So that's what you're going to get in this line here, which, again, I love horror. It's my favorite genre. But, growing up in the 80s and 90s, I love a lot of other things as well. And it's cool to see them getting kind of their own separate line. So that's one of the big buying points for me, is that I love that they're kind of doing this outside of horror genre thing and giving these things like a sweet additions. So I will say that I watched this and I highly enjoyed it. If you like things like Top Gun and stuff, it's very similar in vein to a lot of movies that came out around that time. And I'm going to tell you, the picture quality on this looked freaking awesome. Like all those outside scenes and the beautiful scenery, everything was just super sharp. Everything was so bright. It was really, really beautiful to look at. And I was happy I had this. I was happy that I grabbed this because, again, I'm collecting the whole line. So, of course, I was going to get it. But I'm happy that I actually was pleasantly surprised on a movie that, for some reason, kind of passed me by. And that's always fun to find these movies that you never thought you would like, you never heard of. You're like, if this was good, I would have heard of it. But I didn't. And I checked it out and I was like, you know what? That is a cool movie. And I'm surprised it never came across my plate growing up in this time. So again, if you look at it, I did showcase this on another stream, but I'm just giving you an idea of how their stuff looks. So you got that front thing. It almost looks like a big VHS tape. But what's cool is it's magnet, and you can kind of open up. How you gonna do this? I don't want everything fall out. Okay. So if you notice, it's like a magnet, and then it opens up here, and then you get this, and then inside that, you get a slip cover with the HD underneath. And then you also get a cool booklet as well. So again, you get a big booklet, inside artwork here as well. And then it all kind of falls into this box, and it kind of houses everything in here. And then the magnet kind of keeps it shut. So then it clicks out here. So I like these so much that I actually got all cool protectors for them that they go inside. Now it just kind of like makes them stand out and look real shiny on the shelf, and I really appreciate that. So again, this is kind of my review on Navy SEALs. I did do an unboxing, I did do a showcase, but I didn't really tell anybody what I thought about it yet because at the time I hadn't seen it. I liked it a lot. And again, it makes me happy that I can get something that I wasn't really sure about and put it in this collection and say, okay, you know what, I'm glad I own this, because I wish I would have seen this when I was a lot younger. Like I said, it did have an all-star cast. It looked great. And if you like things like Top Gun and stuff that came out around that time, I think this is something you'll really appreciate. So that was the review on Navy SEALs. So what I'll do now is I'll get into the ranking. And when I pull up my ranking order, I'm going to showcase what's inside and whatnot. So I will go back to the bottom of the chat, and I apologize if I missed anybody. I think I saw a super chat come in. Okay. Cody, you don't have to give me nothing. Cody at Dude Who Loves Movies. Go check out Cody, my dude, at Dude Who Loves Movies. He's one half of the Rad Dudes. He says, Roundhouse kick the like button. We need Campfire Tales 97 VSU. Sure. But again, I don't know if they're going to consider that horror, because that's kind of the whole idea, is that they're going to do all non-horror genre stuff. So do I want Vinegar Syndrome to put out Campfire Tales? Of course. Yeah, they've already started shipping, so you should be getting it any day now. And thank you again, Cody. I'll give you a little bit of a super chat here.
That often. Bam! That just kicks it up a little bit.
Thank you, my man. I appreciate that. Oh wow. Here's another Rad Pack member. Justin. Go check out Justin David over on YouTube. He's not usually up this late, so I'm happy to see him pop in and say what's up. Dude! He will be part of the Rad Pack show tomorrow, so make sure you pop on over there. Allie, what's going on, kid? How are you? All right, let me see. Can you link us to her site so we can buy her docs? Yeah. I mean, if you type in Kickstarter and Life After the Goonies, that'll bring you to the Kickstarter, which then will bring her to your page. If you write Life After Documentaries on Google, that's fine. But I will link all that stuff in my description when I'm done as well. So thank you guys for being interested in that, because it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be cool. All right. I'm trying to catch up on the chat. I don't want to miss anything good here, but I apologize. Okay. So let's start the ranking. And guys, I'm gonna go all the way to the bottom of the chat, and what's up to everybody in here. We've got 67 people in the house. So thank you guys for popping in. Make sure you hit the like button. It definitely helps the channel out. Like I said, I haven't been live with you guys for a while, so hopefully we get a lot of people in here. I'm seeing it screen to shelf. What protectors do I use for my VSUs? These are from a company called Katana Collectibles. Go check them out. That's where I get all my protectors from. And if you guys have said anything up until now that you want me to try to read again, just write it in again, because I skipped a ton of stuff because I want to get started. But I also want to see your feedback on some of the stuff. So, all right, I'm going to start at my least favorite of all of these VSUs right now, and then I'll showcase it. So what comes in at, like I said, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What comes in at number 9 as my least favorite VSU title currently is going to be Six String Samurai. That is my least favorite of the bunch. And to be quite honest, it's probably the only one in this whole line that I didn't really care for. Now, when this was released, I had never heard of it. It came out in 1998, I believe. I don't know why I never heard of this movie. It must have not really been something that was in the theaters. I don't think. I just never even heard of this until it came out on here, which was a really cool edition. And I was like, what the heck movie is this? And why is it getting an edition like that? And I snagged it and I watched it, and it's just not really my cup of tea. It's kind of comedic in a way. I don't know. I didn't really dig this that much, but as far as what they did with it, I mean, God, this thing is never ever going to get an edition like this. So again, you get the magnet piece again. Pop that open. Boom. You get that slip inside, and then you have your piece under there. And then you're going to go into the book again. So I was hoping I was going to like it better than what I thought, but it's just not one I think I'd ever go back to. So, I mean, I think out of all these, this is kind of the black sheep of like why this is in here. Because I think everything else has its own charm in different ways. This one, I just didn't really click with it too much. And that is Six String Samurai. And to be honest, I think this was the second one that was ever released, and I think there's still copies left. So if that goes to show you, if this was probably the smartest title to put in this line, it doesn't seem like it, because I still think there's some left, which is rare because there's a lot of these that are not available anymore. So that's going to be my number 9, and that is Six String Samurai from the VSU line. Let me know if anybody in there is a big fan of this movie or not, because honest, when they released it, I was kind of like, I don't even know what this is. I don't know why people are excited for it. Alex, what's up, man? He says, are you excited about Fun City Editions? They're going to ability to releasing Bad Company Western movie with Jeff Bridges, Barry Brown. I don't know anything about that movie. I've never seen Bad Company, so I don't know. I'm not a huge Western guy. I mean, some I like, but it's not something I usually go crazy for. But maybe it's good. Yeah, Vinegar Syndrome did Texas Chainsaw 2. Yes. I would hurry up and get that. I don't even know. It might not even be available anymore. I think that already sold out. And if it didn't, it's only the standard edition left, which I guess is fine. I would snag it for sure. John Doe says Six String is the only one he has. Sometimes it depends. Like I said, out of this whole lot here, that's probably the only one I would probably say is not worth it, to be honest. Let me see. Nobody likes Six True Samurai. Like, hey, give it away on the site. Yeah, I like Bug, the 1975 one. Sure. I didn't ever bought it. I know Scream Factory put it on Blu-ray. I think I have that, or I at least have it on DVD still. 120%. I've said this before. Over the Top would be an amazing VSU. Amazing. That kind of fits exactly what this is about. Okay. So the number 8 is going to be, I'm going to have to say it's another late 90s movie. I mean, what is this? Mid 90s, 95, I think. And that Showgirls is probably going to be my number 8. Now, it's not that I hate this movie. I think it's fine. I mean, again, I remember when this came out, because Elizabeth Berkley was in it. It was a huge deal, a huge deal. Now, I don't remember if this made a lot of money. For some reason, for me, I feel like it must have did pretty well, because again, it as a teenager when this came out, or preteen, it was all the talk. It was all the talk. And I obviously didn't see this in the theater. I was too young. I saw this when it hit VHS, and it was just, again, this seems kind of like a weird title for them to do, but I guess that's what this line is kind of all about. But it sold really, really fast. Someone says here it's going for like 150 on the aftermarket right now, at least. But amazing looking edition that they did here. Again, you pop it open. And again, for me, Showgirls is like kind of to me feels like a sign of the times, the way it was filmed and stuff. I don't want to show everything, but again, you get a nice slip cover here, which is cool. It comes with a book as well. I don't know if I want to show all this stuff in here, but yeah, I mean, I remember when this was announced, people were a little bit kind of disappointed, I think, but it sold so quick. It really sold really fast. So again, I don't not like the movie. I don't love it. I think it's okay. But again, it's, to me, out of these 9, it's definitely my number 8, I'm gonna say. But I know for a lot of people, you know, they really, really, really wanted that one. It's funny because you look at the different things they have, like this is an MGM title. There's someone here from Paramount. So they're definitely getting the rights to put these out, and they are very limited because they might only have the rights for a short period of time. But this next one, let me just move these out of the way, is another one that when they released this movie, people were going nuts, and I was like, I have never seen this. And everybody was like, how have you never seen this? This thing came out in the mid 80s. It's got the kid in it from Neverending Story. Like, how have you not seen this movie? And I'm like, that is weird. I don't know how I never saw this. How did this pass me by all these years? I never owned it on any physical media. And that is from 1985, and that is Daryl with oh my god, Barrett Oliver. I think it's Barrett Oliver, the kid from Neverending Story. And I was stoked when I saw this because I'm like, oh my God, like everybody's telling me that I'm going to fall in love with this thing. And I don't know how I missed out on it for so long. And in there, you get that cool image. And that's kind of the slipcover as well. Boom, in there. And then you've got that inside as well. So I think this must be, this I think is maybe the movie poster or like the DVD poster. So I watched it, and it comes with a book, and I liked it, but I didn't like it as much as I thought I was going to. I liked it, but I think if I would have seen this as a kid, I would have a different opinion of it now. I think nostalgia would have kicked in. I think this would have been something as a kid that I would have loved and watched multiple times and probably appreciated a lot more now than watching this for the first time as like I don't know what it says, a middle-aged adult, I guess. So, I mean, it's fun, and I can understand why people do have a love and nostalgia for this movie because I would have as well. But I think what happened was I think it was so hyped for me because of what I like in movies that when I watched it, I was a little bit kind of let down. Like I was hoping that I was going to find this unbelievable masterpiece from the 80s that just slipped me by. Like that was now going to be like one of my all-time favorite movies from that time. And it just wasn't, but like I said, it is one that I do recommend. Um, but like I said, I thought I was going to just absolutely go ape for this movie, but it's definitely one to get, especially if you're a fan of the 80s movies, especially if you're a fan of like those like kids 80s movies, because it really does fit in that. Um, like I said, when it comes to everything on this list, this has to come in at number 7 for me at the end of the day. And I know for most people that might actually be very much higher on the list when it comes to these 9 movies. Let me see how people are saying about Daryl. Let's see. So you're saying that because I am a horror fan, that I can't like other genres of movies. That makes 0 sense. 0 sense. What's up, man? I'm doing good. Of course I've seen Nightmare Weekend. Yes. Vinegar Syndrome put that out too. Yeah, Austin's never seen Daryl. That's interesting. Excellent movie, beautiful art star, 80s classic. Daryl, great movie. The slipcover inside the slipcover is kind of redundant. You never get to see the first one. I don't know what the heck you're talking about, man. You're losing me tonight, man. You're losing me. Love Daryl as a kid. Daryl on eBay, $30. Yeah, it's interesting. It is one that like I guess a lot of people missed. A lot of people missed. It again, it was good, but I don't think it hit the way people were hyping it for me based on what they know I'm into. What's up, buddy? Yeah, that's the hard thing. And that's why, like, when I watch trailers and stuff, I really don't try to overhype myself because 9 times out of 10, it never lives up to that. So I try to really just go into things. I'm in a position now where I go into things with no expectations and I just hope for the best. And then there's another expectation of like, I give 0 shits about it and I'm just not going to watch it. So like, that's kind of where I'm at now. Like, I don't have time for a lot. So it's either I'm kind of interested, but I don't want any expectations, or I've got 0 interest and I'll just never watch it and never talk about it. So it's an interesting place to be. So Daryl and Six String and Dirt Cheap, interesting. I wonder if it's because they might both still be available. Flight of the Navigator is an unbelievable movie. That was like a staple of my childhood, and that's also a huge gateway movie for me getting into the horror genre. As much as it was owned by Disney, that movie had a lot of creep factor to it, very sci-fi. And like I said before, there's a documentary out called Life After Navigator. I highly recommend it if you're a fan of that movie. Very, very cool. Very great story. Let me see. Guyver movies are good. I like the Guyver movies as well. There's a 4K coming out too. Yeah, I mean, I never owned Daryl on DVD, which is insane because I feel like I have almost everything, at least on DVD. What up, B? My number 9 was, I'll go through it again. Six String Samurai was number 9. Number 8 was Showgirls, and Daryl was number 7. Yeah, but it goes one of two ways. It is, but at the same time, it's almost kind of like a redemption story as well. So hopefully, that really helped him. And if you guys didn't check out my interview with Lisa Downs, check that out on my channel. We talk a little bit about that as well. All right. So We have number 6. Number 6 on the list is kind of like that halfway mark we're getting towards right now. And then I'm gonna say Navy SEALs. Navy SEALs is my number 6 on the bunch. Like I said, I was pleasantly surprised with this one. It made it halfway through the list pretty much. I talked a lot about it at the beginning of the stream because I did a review, but all-star cast here. What did I say this one was? 1990. So very, very cool. It kind of feels like a late 80s, early 90s movie, but it looks stunning as well. And I will say this, all of these movies look really good. Like, they did a really good job cleaning these up. These look beautiful as far as their picture quality and stuff like that. So there's nothing you're going to get here that's going to look like garbage. The display, like I said, of these movies and what they did for something like this is unbelievable. And then, you know, what you get on the disc is really good too. So, oh, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. Thank you for doing that, dude. You're going to really enjoy it. Of course I do. I didn't have a lot of that here because I'm not in a city. So like I would have to go to Boston to see Virgin and Tower. So I've been there, but I wasn't always in the city. Austin, I hope you watched my latest video about Vestron and Lionsgate because I talk all about Ghoulies 3. Yeah. Yeah, so we'll be getting a Ghoulies 2 4K by MVD next month. Of course, I know Space Camp. Yeah, that's a great one. I think Kino put it out on Blu-ray. Let me see. What up, Davey? Yeah, the Goonies is on 4K. Yes, it might be sold out already though. I have the 4K Steelbook. The standard edition might be out. Yeah, man, Strawberries was my jam, dude. I used to go to Strawberries all the time. Yeah, Big Man on Campus is a cool movie. I'm actually excited they announced that. I'm gonna snag that, but I'm so behind on Kino right now. I doubt it, but I mean, if there's a possibility for it, I think that you'll find out more of that in this documentary because she's going to be talking to the cast. Yes, that's a cool movie, man. I have it on DVD. It's another Disney kind of like gateway horror movie. Very, very cool. Dead Presidents could be a VSU, yeah. Yeah, that's the video I'm talking about. Yeah. All right, guys. Before I get into the last half right here, there's 85 people between Twitch and YouTube in the chat right now. Come say what's up if you haven't. Hit the like button if you haven't. Feel free to share this around. I'll still be on here probably at least another, let's say, 30 minutes, and we can talk about these things. We can bullshit a little bit as well and kind of tell you what's going up with the channel. And like I said, I'm excited to be here tonight. I wasn't sure if I was going to do this because I've been my voice has been gone. And I need it for tomorrow. So if I feel like it's getting worse, I'm going to have to just bounce because I need to make sure it's good for tomorrow's show. And if you're not subscribed over to the Radpack Pod, please go do. I'm going to set the ticker up so you guys remember. Let me see. So I'm going to put that up. If you guys aren't subscribed over to the Radpack Pod, go do that because we're going to be live tomorrow. What is Alex talking about here? I remember to see Paramount almost ability releasing it came out from Hollywood 1982 film back in the day. I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm interested. 30 likes, 80 people. Let's go. All right, we are going to move on to number 5. Astro Juicy saying what's up over on Twitch. What's up, dude? All right, so my number 5 is going to have to be 1982's Beastmaster, which is a real cool flick. I love Don Coscarelli, so that alone is already going to give this a lot of points. This came out around the same time as like Conan the Barbarian, so we're getting a lot of those kind of like medieval, I don't know what you call it, not medieval period pieces like knights and barbarians, and I guess it was fantasy. I don't know what you would describe this genre as, but basically he can talk to animals. It's a real fun movie. But it's around that time. It's that early 80s kind of Conan style. So there were so many movies like this around that time. You could find a whole slew of them, like things like the Barbarians with the Barbarian Brothers. I mean, there's so many different, Sword and the Sorcerer, all that stuff. So Beastmaster was kind of Coscarelli's version of that, which was actually the first VSU title that they did a couple of years ago. This is VSU number 1. So I am going to showcase this now. If you guys haven't seen it, you got the magnet that's going to pop this open on the top. You've got some images here. Beautiful edition. You're going to pop this out. You get that other custom slip. Boom. And then inside, you've got more artwork, different artwork here as well. So very, very cool. And then inside there, you also get a booklet as well, talking about Beastmaster. And then inside here, you've got all that artwork displayed out, which is nice. Just a lot are put into these editions, and it's impressive, man. It really, really is. And that's the one thing I will say about Vinegar Syndrome, which I can appreciate, is I feel like they're very innovative when it comes to their products. The innovation is there. So I can always appreciate that. But this is a great movie, guys. It's fun, but I think you really kind of have to be into that genre to really like it. If you're not, and you're not really into that kind of stuff, I guess I can't recommend it to everybody, because it is a specific genre piece that I think that people would either love or not love. But again, I'm a huge Phantasm fan. So of course, with Coscarelli, this was something that I've always appreciated, because I just love his stuff like Kenny and Company and Survival Quest and all that other stuff there. It's 100%. Beastmaster is PG and has so much nudity, violence, creepy monsters scared me as a kid, and never a 100%. It's another gateway horror movie. What's up, Dirk? Go check him out at Subjective Perspective Collective. I'd say definitely would be fantasy sword sandal. Sure, yeah. Sword and sandals. Okay. I've actually never heard that term before, sandals. Funko Land, hell yeah. That was kind of like my pre-GameStop around here. What up, Ian? Congrats on the grad, dude. Let me see. Cobwebs. I saw Beastmaster back in the day, but it's something we watched on VSU. Got to do that. Remember, it's a fun movie. Yeah, it is fun. It is fun. There we go. Wow. Dude, sword and sandal. I've never heard that terminology in my life. I was today years old. You guys just taught me something new. Bicentennial Man is a good movie, man. Hell yeah. Maybe it would be interesting to get a Robin Williams title on this line. Okay. So we're on our number 4. So we got our top 4 titles left. Now, VSU sold out, but they do have slipcover ones. So again, a lot of these are sold out, these big boxes. But if you don't care about the big boxes and you just want the movie inside, you can probably still get some of them, for sure. This one, fantastic movie. And I can remember when this was announced, if you go back, because we do Vinegar Syndrome shows all the time, me and the guys from Dead Pit. So if you go back into my playlist and type in like Vinegar Syndrome, you'll see that we do these shows every time they do a drop at midnight, and it's a big party and tons of people come and we buy shit together and talk about the stuff that they drop. Usually we kind of laugh at a lot of the stuff. When this was dropped, I said, I didn't jump for joy. Now, I knew I was going to pick it up because I'm collecting this line, and it's one of the only lines that I'm collecting as a whole right now, just because I think there's something special about this line. So I knew I was going to get it. My only issue was, I'm like, you know what? I already have this on Scream Factory. Sure, this is a Blu-ray, the Scream Factory. This one's a 4K. It's an upgrade. Do I really want to upgrade it? I guess I'm going to have to. But besides that, this movie is awesome. And if anybody's never seen this and they're actually like, dude, I would love the Scream Factory one. DM me on Instagram and we can come up with a deal because I think I still have it somewhere. It might probably be my Screen Factory shelf. But as far as if you want to see a really good movie, a real cool movie, that is Southern Comfort. Southern Comfort from 1981 is a great flick. 100% hands down great flick. Even if it's not your style of movie, I think you'll really appreciate this. It's violent. You've got this hillbilly type town and they're protecting their land, and then the military comes in and basically like they're going after each other, and there's just some gruesome stuff in here, and it's a real cool story, and you get invested in a lot of these characters, and I just think this is a really well made movie. I highly recommend Southern Comfort. And you may look at this box and just kind of be like, it seems boring, right? I don't know. Like it does nothing to it. Doesn't seem exciting. I'm going to tell you, this is a real good movie. And I think a lot of you would dig this one a lot. And I think this should be available. I mean, this was VSU number 8. This was their second newest that they did. And you're going to check it out. Now, again, I'm trying not to upgrade my whole collection. I'm really trying not to do that. Certain movies I'll do it with, certain ones. If this is going to get put out in this edition, I probably would have just kept my Screen Factory Blu-ray and called it a day. I really wasn't excited to be like, oh, I'm going to rebuy Southern Comfort. It's a great movie, but my Blu-ray was just fine. Southern Comfort comes with a cool book. So very cool. And again, if you like movies like Deliverance, I think you really like it. I think you really like this one. I actually love Deliverance. I actually love that movie. So, and there's another movie called, I think, Rituals as well. It reminds me a lot of as well. Now, before I move on, let's see what anybody else has to say about Southern Comfort. Let me see. Alex Movie Collects says right now is a documentary remembering Gene Wilder on Netflix. I watched last night. It's a pretty good documentary. That's cool. Yeah, I like Gene Wilder a lot. I'd have to check that out. Yeah, I think you're gonna like it, man. Yeah, I think Chris, what's up, man? I think you're gonna like it as well. Yeah, keep your eye on that. If you don't own the movie, I highly recommend it. Something coming very under the radar. It's almost horror, warlike, Deliverance vibes. Yes, 100%. 100%. I love Crossroads with Ralph Macchio and Jamie Gertz. Hell yeah, man. Singing the blues. Nick, what's up? Thanks, man. I try. I don't want to be just a horror channel. I want to, I'm all about nostalgia. I'm all about 80s, 90s pop culture, 70s. Like, it's not just horror. As you see horror back here, but like, again, I like a lot of this stuff. Anything 80s and 90s, what I grew up with. I've been collecting hardcore collecting for about 22 years. So, I've acquired a lot of stuff, and there's still a lot of stuff in this collection I've never seen. There's a lot of stuff in this collection I've watched once and have completely forgot about. So anytime I can bring up something different, I'm all for it. And like I said, I really do appreciate this line because, mainly I'm collecting, me personally collecting mostly horror. I know there's a lot of non-horror stuff coming out, but the companies that I collect from it's mostly horror related companies. So when someone like Vinegar Syndrome says, hey, we got this small line that we're going to focus a little bit more on 80s and 90s non-horror stuff, that intrigues me and I want to talk about it because I do like all that kind of stuff. Yeah, see a lot of people are talking about that. I knew you would dig this one, Daniel, for sure. I love action movies up until I don't like action movies now. I actually hate them now. I think like the Matrix kind of started to ruin it for me, I think. like, I thought it was really cool with the, you know, all that kind of like cool movements and stuff. But then I felt like it got really taken out of hand. And I don't like all that fast paced stuff. But like any old school action stuff, like 80s and 90s, like I was a huge Arnold fan growing up. I love Stallone stuff. I love Van Damme. Like all those guys were like my jam. Oh, come on, Ian. What's up, Ian? Go check out Ian Fetterman. You can find him over on Ian's Pumpkin Carvings on Instagram. Dude, 9.99 super chat. You don't have to give me nothing. You gave me a freaking jack-o'-lantern with my logo on it, dude. You don't have to give me anything, but I appreciate it greatly. I know you're getting ready for Monster Mania. If anybody's going to Monster Mania, make sure to stop by Ian's booth. I don't think I'll be there. I would love to be there, but there's just so much stuff coming up. But I'll hit him with a little super chat here. What can I do? Let's see. I'll hit him with this. Boom. Little Feld doggy. You hit me in the sweet spot with Walden Books, baby. Hell yeah. I used to love that place. I used to buy so many magazines there. Yeah, I agree, man. I don't like any of that stuff. I just don't. This overly CGI, overly unrealistic stuff. I just don't. Yeah, dude, his work is insane for sure. Delta Force is good. No, not at all. Not at all. So like looking at some of these, like movies like Iron Eagle, I have on DVD right there. I have part 1 and 2. I can see it right here. That doesn't have an upgrade. Like what? Like why has nobody touched Iron Eagle? What's the problem with a movie like that? I figured like that would have a Vinegar Syndrome all over it or VSU or something, but no one's touched that one. What up, Rob? So a long time watching, first time comment. What's up, brother? I did not. I will have to look into that. I'm actually kind of mad that I didn't get Ninja Terminator. I'm kind of wondering if I dropped the ball on that one. Yeah, Invasion USA just came out from Vinegar Syndrome. Yes. Kino would be a good one for that year as well. You're right. Interesting. Oh, there's 4 of them and only one is. That's interesting. I don't know why the first one isn't on. It's craziness. But all right, we have 3 more, and we've got big 3 right now. 3 of the VSUs left. My top 3, and this is just by personal pick only. And I'm gonna have to go with another movie that, in my opinion, is just a fantastic movie. And the way this whole packaging was done, I think is probably the coolest out of all of 9 of these that we've talked about. And that is a movie called Cloak and Dagger with Henry Thomas. Man, this movie is so freaking good. It's basically about Henry Thomas that's obsessed with this video game called Cloak and Dagger for the Atari, and he has an imaginary friend played by, what's his name? He just died, Coleman. Dabney Coleman, he just passed away, is kind of like his imaginary friend. And like I said, it's about a video game, which number 1 is already intriguing to me. Number 2, Henry Thomas, very cool, coming off E.T. Good cast, great story. It's kind of like an adventure type story, kind of like not a whodunit, but a mystery. They're trying to find this game cartridge because there's something inside it that they want, and they kind of run into like some bad people along the way. And there's a specific scene in this movie. Again, this is a very tense movie. There's some scenes in it that when I saw this for the first time, I was like, ooh, like this is a little bit like, you know, I'm on the edge of my seat right now. And there's some twists and turns. Very, very good movie. Highly recommend it. And what they did about this edition is they made this cool box, and then we undo it, and then they make it look like a video game on the second slipcover, which is fantastic. And then inside you've got that, which again, very, very cool. You've got the book. And I go to this arcade called the Fun Spot in New Hampshire, and they have a whole setup of Cloak and Dagger. They have the arcade machine. They have all this stuff there from the movies. And even it's really cool is they have a Vinegar Syndrome like price tag on here, which is pretty neat. So as a whole, I think this was my favorite packaging setup that they've ever done. One of my favorite packaging setups, I think, of all time. But as a movie, if you guys haven't seen Cloak and Dagger, I highly recommend it. I don't care if you get this edition. It's sold out now, but get another edition of this damn movie. It's so freaking worth it. It's such a fun movies that I feel like you just can't replicate that kind of movie anymore. You just can't. Let me see. I'm missing a lot of stuff here. Hold on, guys. Oh, okay. So maybe they're just shipping pre. Okay, I'll wait and see if I can snag it later. What up, Twisted? Edward Furlong's best role. It's gotta be Brain Scan. Cloak and Dagger, personal favorite. Wanted to be that kid. The box art looks target. Yes. Would I spend 150 on it? I don't know. I mean, but I've spent a lot of money on some stupid shit before. I've actually never spent that much money on a physical media copy. I really haven't. I usually buy things first, so then therefore I don't have to worry about that. But like posters and stuff, I've spent recently. I've spent a couple hundred on a poster. Cloak and Dagger, so good. Yes, I was amped up when they released that for sure. Demon Lover's a great movie, by the way. Scream Factory just did it. Yeah, I think it's definitely one, Chris, that you should track down, or at least look on streaming and see if it's up there. Let me see. Sorry, guys, I'm just trying to get going with this. Yeah, totally agree. Heck yeah. What up, Evil Abe? Welcome to the chat, my man. Don't care. I think we should just leave it alone. I mean, is it the same actors? Is that what we're doing here? I mean, I guess I really don't care either. So, oh, he hadn't heard of it before this edition? Oh, yeah, it's so good. Let's see. What up, Leaf? Leaf Garrett in the house, baby. Do I like Rainbow movies? Of course I do. Yes. I've actually never seen Jennifer 8, and I was going to pick it up because I've never seen it. What the hell? Happy Hunter's formerly the Infinite character. Hope you're having a great night. Banger after banger after bang. Yeah, man, I'm having a good night. Hope you are too. Hell yeah, Kmart, dude. Box of shorts. Oh, they're coming back? I don't know. I think we should just kind of call it a day. What up, rock music forever? I don't know what the hell Bradley means. I have not seen Jade in a long time. That actually needs an upgrade, doesn't it? I don't know, man. There's so many different themes like between the edition I'm watching. I would probably say part 1. I just like part 1 as a whole way better than 2. Of course I do, man. I own every Scream Factory Blu-ray. Not 4K, but Blu-ray. What did it say? I love watching Showgirls HBO, but I want to put it in my collection. Oh, you just watch it between the lines. That's kind of more or less the way you want to watch it. Oh my god. All right. We got 2 left. 2. My number 1 and my number 2. I'm sure you guys know what my number 1 and my number 2 are, but do you know the order that these are going to be in? Do you know the order? So I've got 2 left to talk about. 2 classics, in my opinion, to talk about. My number 2 favorite VSU 4K is a movie that, man, now I feel like I want to switch these. Now I feel like I want to switch these. Do I switch them? No, Garrett, keep them the same. Keep them what you wanted to do. Because the reason I want to switch, okay, growing up, this is one of my favorite movies as a kid. I was a huge Karate Kid fan. Karate Kid kind of came and went because they stopped making the movies. This kind of clenched my thirst when it came to that. It was almost like my love for the Karate Kid came back because of this movie. My brother and I obsessed over this movie. And being a huge physical media collector, I was able to have this on VHS, but it never really hit DVD or Blu-ray ever. So for so long, this movie was so sought after that it was like on everybody's list of like movies that needed to come out on an upgraded physical media. And if you guys watched the show that I did with Dead Pit and they announced this, I literally like almost flew up my seat. There's like I think we did a short of me seeing this for the first time being announced. And that is Sidekicks from 1992 with Joe Piscopo, Jonathan Brandis. You got Chuck Norris. I mean, you got, what's her name there? The chick from Wonder Years, Winnie Cooper. This is not for everybody. I'll tell you this. As far as the quality of movie, this is not for everyone. But me at like 10 years old, this was like everything to me. I absolutely loved this. I was a huge Jonathan Brandis fan as a kid. Obviously from Neverending Story 2 was a big one. Sequest, Ladybugs, like I was all in on Jonathan Brandis. So this even just made it even better for me. I absolutely love it. And this edition is so fire. What they gave you in here. Again, I'm going to pop this open. This has never had any kind of this love. Look at that. What a sick slip, dude. Unbelievable. Pop this out. It's got the old school. This was like the classic VHS art right there. And I still have that VHS. It was one of my favorites growing up. And then when you get like this, you get a magazine. It looks like the old Black Belt magazine from the 80s that you would get, like the martial arts magazine. It's got all different stuff about the movie in there. And then you get this real cool image in here. Amazing edition. I mean, it blew my mind when this thing was released because this was so sought after by movie fans for a real long time. Back in the day of DVD collecting and whatnot. So to finally have that in such an amazing 4K was just unbelievable. For me as a lifelong fan. It was just I love it. It's one of my favorite editions that I have in my collection, to be quite honest with you. It was just such a big movie for me as a kid. Let me see. Oh yeah, yep, VSU. Some love for Sidekicks, Evil Abe. Let me see. Side of my movie. I really love that favorite personality minus Chuck Norris. Yeah. Sidekicks, big win. Winnie Cooper, she's gonna do Playboy. Yeah, B-MAGA. It's just, again, like I said, I could see this not being for everybody the same way maybe Daryl didn't hit me the same way as it would have if I would have watched this as a kid, but I think nostalgia really helped me with this. And I think also too, because like I said, out of all these things that we talked about, this is the one that was people were clamoring for an edition for since VHS, right? So I'm looking at these now, and I think all of these had at least a DVD. 100% they did. I think this was the only one that really, I think it had like a bootleg DVD or something maybe from Canada or whatever, but it was one people really wanted. Piscopo was wild in this. Top Dog, yes. We're going to be talking about that on a show very soon, so be ready. Bro, Ladybugs is... I love Ladybugs. Love Ladybugs. They can never make that movie now, but I love Ladybugs. Hell yeah, it's a huge Karate Kid ripoff. Huge Karate Kid, for sure. Yeah, man, rest in peace, Jonathan Brandis, dude. That guy was killing it in the early 90s. Killing it. Yeah, it's sick. No, it was suicide. I think he hung himself. Now the story that I always heard was that his career, he was really kind of depressed because his career didn't really pan out the way that he had thought at that age. You know, he was part of like the 90s Brat Pack, really. If you ever saw the Punky Brewster documentary, like they were dating in the early 90s. Like he was really just part of that scene of kids that was up and coming in the 90s. And for whatever reason, a lot of these kids didn't end up what they expected, because Jonathan Brandis had a lot of big roles and he kind of just fell off. Now, did he get into drugs? I don't know. But I remember his big comeback story that he was pushing towards was he was going to be Anakin Skywalker in the Clone Wars. I think that's the second one. And he really wanted to be Anakin. And to him, it was like, this is the resurgence of my career as Anakin Skywalker. And Hayden Christensen ended up winning it over him at the end of the day. And shortly after is when he committed suicide. Now, is there correlation to that? I don't know. It seems like it could have been, like it maybe was his last ditch effort into like being like, oh my God, this is going to reinvigorate my career. He didn't get the part, then just ran into a bit deep depression. That's kind of the story I always heard. Now, as far as how factual that is, I don't know 100%, but that is the story that I was always told, or I always heard. A Friday the 13th poster, the original. Let's see. Sorry, guys, I'm scrolling through. You learn how to climb the rope from Sidekicks. Hell yeah! Remember we had to do that? They must not do that in gym class anymore. Yes. Oh, so you're saying I would have loved to see Brandis as Anakin Skywalker for sure. That would have been cool, you know. I have not checked out Monkey Man. No. All right, my number one VSU title so far in the line has got to be Roadhouse. It's got to be just a huge fan of this movie. Swayze, okay, great looking addition. Awesome looking addition. The dude designed the logo on the front. That's really cool. I mean, I don't know what else to say about this movie. I love it. Love Roadhouse. Love Swayze. The only negative I'll say is that, like, I already had this on Blu-ray, so I think it was Shout Factory did it. So I, like, really didn't, like, I wouldn't have probably upgraded this right away, but this thing was selling out, so I was like, I gotta jump on it. I'm just getting really tired of the double dipping. So, you know, that's the only negative about it. But I mean, unbelievable. The picture quality blew, and I don't say this a lot, but the picture quality blew the Scream Factory one out of the water, or Shout Factory, whatever you want to say. This looked unbelievable. This movie has never looked better. Absolutely gorgeous. Roadhouse is a fantastic movie, unlike that junk that we just got with McGregor in it. But this is my number one favorite VSU title so far. So, guys, if this is a line that you're not familiar with, like I said, the only problem now is a lot of these are long gone. They're long sold out. But if you're interested in kind of getting into this stuff, there are some still available. Some of the newer ones, like Navy SEALs, Southern Comfort. I think even Six String Samurai is still out there. So if you guys want to start collecting these, when Vinegar Syndrome pops back up, their website shut down for this month, but it'll be back up. And you can snag some of these that are left. I would say, even from a collectible standpoint, it's probably worth you guys checking out. And And a lot of these, if you've never seen the movies and you're really interested in them, you can probably get the standalone editions on Vinegar Syndrome or on another site just without the hard boxes. That's all. But I have not seen Roadhouse 2, actually. I have not. So I probably won't like it then. I probably won't. But who knows? Who knows? What up, Huck? All right, man. I love Roadhouse, brings back driving memories. Yeah, I mean, that is a definitive addition, for sure. It's gonna get nasty. It's gonna get nasty. The pit stop, baby. Yes, I do. I do have that fly set. It's a cool set because you get all the old ones and the remakes. So it's a cool set. But guys, yeah, I've been on here about an hour. We have 86 people in here. If you haven't hit that like button, hit the like button. If you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. If you're checking this out for the first time, leave me a comment down below and say what's up. And guys, in the comment section down below after this video is over, give me your ranking. There's only 9 of these movies that we talked about in here. If you're a fan of this line, throw your ranking down below. If you just want to go by the movies themselves, you can throw your ranking down below. I'd love to kind of see what you guys have to say. And let me know what you think of my ranking here and this line, VSU Vinegar Syndrome. Like I said, right now, hands down, like I said, this is coming from an OG physical media collector that's seen everything. And to me, this is just something a little bit special, something a little bit different that I'm really digging right now. And what I like about it is that there's not like 4 of these being released every month. There's 9. These things have been running for about 3 years now. So it's cool to kind of be able to buy these in every couple months. Like I think maybe they release probably 3 a year. And that's fine for me. I'm cool with that. It kind of helps the wallet a little bit. It makes them feel a little more prestigious when you're not getting just bombarded with these things. So very, very cool. And guys, thank you again for hanging with me. Like I said, my voice has been a little off. Pop by tomorrow over on the Radpack Pod YouTube channel. I have the link right there. And I would also leave a link in my description box. I'll leave it tonight. If anybody wants to check out that Kickstarter for the Goonies documentary that's coming out, it's going to be really, really rad. I promise you guys that. And thank you all for hanging out with me live. Thank you all for hanging out with me on the replay. This is Garrett at Born to Be Rad. And like always, stay